everyone, and welcome to The Scoop, coming at you from Saddleback Studios. I'm your host, Andrea Moore, and as always, I'm so happy to be here with you. This week, we'll take a look at a new campus-wide smoking ban that will take effect this fall, learn about screen printing from a Saddleback professor, then we'll watch a local executive chef work his magic. Finally, we'll hear from Saddleback filmmakers Pendulum and learn about a foundation that's going to do some great work to fight cystic fibrosis. It's a jam-packed show, so let's get going. Smoking at Saddleback is about to be a thing of the past. A new measure has been already approved and will come into effect this fall. Let's take a look to see what these new massive changes are going to be.
Starting the fall semester of 2015, Saddleback will officially be a smoke and tobacco-free campus, banning all tobacco products and e-cigs from the entire campus.
I just recently heard about the ban on tobacco that they're going to start enforcing during the fall. And I personally think that everyone 18 and older as an adult has the right to choose to smoke or not.
We come out here almost every time we have class for our lunch, and we'll just be eating our sandwiches, and we'll get whiffs of different flavors from e-cigs and cigarettes in our face, and we're just trying to have some fresh air.
Or I'll be turning a corner and then all of a sudden I'm consumed by a giant cloud of some cinnamon or bubblegum flavored e-cig.
Like cinnamon, but maybe I don't like cinnamon when I'm eating my sandwich.
I don't think like anyone else should have that ability to just say, no, you can't do something that is like my right to do if I want to do it, you know?
Saddleback campus is littered with hundreds of cigarette butts. The litter alone is a big enough reason to ban it entirely.
The thing is, I just think it's kind of wrong that they just decided to, ban something and ban it without really a vote for the students, I think we have the right to vote on certain things like this.
The new rule was passed by school administration, but also voted on by ASG.
Saddleback is a big enough college. There's plenty of room for non-smokers and smokers, and I think it's the personal right of the individual to decide whether they want to do that or not, and it's not up to the school to make that choice for the individual.
Why they didn't just make designated areas for like smoking, you know what I mean?
If there were smoking areas at Saddleback, designated smoking areas, then it would be a lot easier for people that did make that choice to freely exercise that right, and people who don't want to smoke or be around it don't have to go in that area.
I personally think that designated smoking areas do not work because people don't always pay attention to signs. And on every building, there's actually a sign posted that says no smoking within 20 feet of a building, and people still smoke inside of buildings, not in an actual classroom, but in a community area. So,
how are they planning on enforcing this? Are they going to hire more, college campus police, or are they not going to hand out any more tickets in the parking lot? Like, how is this going to happen?
No matter your opinion, this new rule will bring a big impact on our campus in the future.
This unprecedented measure goes into effect on August 17th and will surely mark a major change at the college. Next up, we'll learn about how you can turn a graphic design into reality. Jason Sermeno is live in studio with Saddleback professor Greg Carlson. Take it away, Jason.
Thanks, Andrea. I'm here in the studio with Greg Carlson, who teaches screen printing here at Saddleback. Hi, Greg. How are you?
Hello.
Thanks for coming out today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So what exactly is screen printing?
Well, silk screen printing is a method of applying ink or paint, if you will, to a surface or substrate using a piece of fabric with woven holes or openings in it.
Okay. What kind of materials are used for this process?
A silk screen is a piece of polyester woven fabric, and it's woven in a pattern of holes or dots, square dots, if you will, because the fabric is woven perpendicular lines. And there's different fabrics with different size holes for different amounts of ink lay down depending on what application you're doing.
Okay. Are any of these materials reusable?
The silkscreen is reusable. It has a life to it. So we're constantly recycling the silkscreen as well as the inks. We don't throw away any inks. We scrape it off the screen, put it back in the bucket, and keep using it until it's all used up.
Oh, that's awesome. How long, on average, would you say it takes to screen print something?
If you were to take a design that a student's done and they have the piece of film, it would take about 45 minutes to an hour to get the design up on the silkscreen, mounted on the printing press, and then inked up and getting a print.
How big would you say that is, the image that takes 45 minutes?
That would be a full-size print, the width of a t-shirt.
Oh, awesome. Aside from t-shirts, are there any more things you can screen print on? Is it pretty easy to screen print onto things?
Screen printing, you can pretty much print on anything.
Wow.
Glass, metal, leather, your pants.
Huh?
In fact, beer bottles are screen printed. The Corona beer bottle is screen printed. The Stone Brewing Company screen prints all their beer bottles. You can print eyeglass arms of your glasses. People don't realize just how many areas silk screening is really used in manufacturing.
Yeah, I bet. I had no idea that the beer was screen printed. That's awesome.
Not all beer, but
Yeah.
those two particular brands.
And what kind of people would you say would take this class? Do they need to be like visionary? Do they need to be Andy Warhols in the making?
No, not at all. In fact, there's a manufacturing side to screen printing as well as the artistic side. Andy Warhol made silk screening popular as a form of art, a legitimate form of art, so you can be a silk screen artist. Or you can work at a company, a huge company, and be working in the print department, mixing ink and printing hundreds of thousands of widgets, if you will, units, like an eyeglass case, for example. We used to manufacture these, and we used to make hundreds of thousands of these, and these are all screen printed.
Oh,
So
very
you have
cool.
to, you sit at a press, and the operator would print 3,000 a day.
Wow.
One operator could print 3,000 a day.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, and you plug in, put your headphones on, and get to work and
Go to town, yeah.
Yeah, and relax. It's enjoyable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, some people really gravitate to it.
How many different classes are being taught this semester?
Right now, there's 2 classes being taught. One's on Saturday, which is my class from 10 till 3, and the other class is during the week. So it's an all-day class. There's about anywhere from 40 to 45 students total in these classes.
And what kind of job industry are students who take this class looking to get into?
Well, the silk screening is popular from an entrepreneurial standpoint as well. So a lot of students that I get want to start their own business. And a lot of it has to do with garments and that kind of thing. So they're decorating t-shirts, hats, socks, various things that are putting out a brand name or a logo.
Okay, very cool. And yourself, how did you get into screen printing?
I got into screen printing just like a lot of my students. They only in those days they didn't really have a silk screening class, but I was just a college graduate with a teaching credential. But I left the field to start my own business, and we started making neoprene products like these. And one of the things we had to do was put a logo on that product. And so from that standpoint, that's the standpoint that I started learning silk screening from, was a manufacturing standpoint. It was the best method to identify or label the products I was making.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Sounds like a really good process. And, oh, well, it looks like we're running out of time.
Okay.
If you're interested in taking a screen printing class, make sure to register for summer or fall classes. I'm Jason Sermeno. Back to you, Andrea.
Thanks, Jason. It's amazing to think that there are so many interesting crafts you can learn right here at Saddleback. If you're interested in taking a class in screen printing, you can sign up at saddleback.edu. We have to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. I'm Andrea Moore with The Scoop.
We hope Saddleback College will be your first choice if you seek a dynamic, innovative, and student-centered post-secondary education.
Welcome back. Up next, we have a very special treat. We'll get a culinary lesson from Executive Chef Rob Hines of the historic Hotel Laguna. I can't wait to see what he's going to make for us today. Amos Alexander is in the studio cooking with him, so let's jump over and see what they're going to do for us today.
Thank you, Andrea. I'm here with Executive Chef Rob Hines from the Hotel Laguna's Ocean View Bar and Grill. How's it going, Rob?
Not bad. Thanks for having me. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. So what are we cooking today?
Actually, we're going to do a Chilean sea bass dish. This is one of the things we do at my hotel.
Nice.
Trying to show that you can do a fancy fine dining dinner at home, nice and easy.
Nice. All right. So what are the ingredients we got here?
All the ingredients we're going to put on the dish today is right here. We have
Okay.
Chilean sea bass. It's
Okay.
a really nice big fish. Has a lot of fat in it.
Nice.
It's an easy flavor, very mild, and it's expensive. But if you can't afford that, you can do cod, tilapia, anything, any local whitefish you can get at the store.
Okay, nice.
We also have potato confit that's going to go on the dish. That's our starch. And we have broccolini as well.
Broccolini. What's broccolini?
This is broccolini right here. It's actually a family of the broccoli.
Okay.
And you can see the flowers are smaller, and it's got stems instead of the normal broccoli you see at the store.
Okay.
Also, we have all the things we're going to be doing for the sauce. These are the ingredients: tomatoes, red onions. You can use white onions if you want. A bit of parsley and some sugar. Also, we have sherry vinegar. This can get at any Ralph's, or if not, like a 99 Ranch Market or Home Foods or anything like that.
Okay.
And when it's done, it's going to look similar to this.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so you want to get started?
Yeah, sure. How do we get started?
All right, first off, let's start with the potato.
Okay.
The idea with the potato, it's potato confit. So
What's
it
that
needs to be, confit is cooked in oil or
Okay.
fat. You can use duck fat, but today we're going to be using oil.
Okay.
We have the potato completely submerged in oil, and that's what it looks like when it goes in the oven.
Okay.
But before that, we're going to do really simple. What we're going to do is cut it. You don't even have to peel it.
Oh,
You just want to make it look like a square.
Oh, nice.
If you want to do a different shape, you can do a different shape.
Okay.
Whatever you like, but squares are easy to deal with.
Nice.
Okay, and if you have a peeler at home and you get these little edges right here, just use your peeler. If
Just
not,
use
you can
peeler.
use a knife and just trim off all the brown.
Okay.
And of course, if you're doing this at home and you don't want to deal with the brown, you just leave it.
Awesome.
So this is what your potato is going to look like when you're done.
Okay.
And you're just going to take that and you're going to put it in oil. I have a container that we use at the hotel. This is a stainless steel container, but you can get one of those aluminum foil ones. And the idea is as soon as you put it in the oil, you just pop it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
And it does all the work for you. So you don't have to do anything, right?
I love that. Yeah.
When it's done, after a while, the potato is going to be cooked all the way through, and it's going to be, obviously, it's going to be coated in oil. But the texture of this thing is like a baked potato. It's fork tender. You can just go right through it. You don't have to worry about it. So we're going to sear that up for the plate, and I'll show you guys how to do that. We have a pan already ready to go, obviously. And you're just going to put in a little bit of oil.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to hear the searing and everything. And you just want to sear it until it gets golden brown. Obviously, it's already cooked all the way through, so you don't have to worry about anything. You just make it look pretty on the outside, and it's ready to go, right?
Awesome.
All right, so let's go to the sea bass while that's cooking.
Okay.
When you're seasoning your sea bass, the only one thing I want to tell everybody is get dirty with it.
Get
You know what I'm
dirty,
saying?
okay.
When you do the salt, don't just do it
Like that?
like this. Come high, let it come down. Make it
Okay.
rain, you know what I mean?
Make it rain?
So I tell you what, why don't you go ahead and season
Okay,
that?
you want me to make it rain? All right. Like that.
There you go. See? Nice and easy. You do the
Nice.
white pepper too?
White pepper. All right.
Perfect, fantastic. See how easy that was? Everybody, you know, they get it home and they want to do it like this, and you get clumped seasoning and it doesn't go good.
Just nice. Okay. So
You're going to clean up afterwards anyways, right?
yeah, don't be afraid to get it all over the
Exactly.
place, basically.
You
Okay.
want the flavor on there, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we already have another pan going.
Okay.
We're just going to get the sea bass in there. And like I said, at home, you're working with a little bit more high heat situations. You're going to get that sear, you're going to get smoke going, all that stuff. The one thing I do want to say, if you're at home, don't be afraid to get your pan hot.
Okay.
You know, if you have a cold pan, your fish is going to stick if you're not using a nonstick. Today we have a nonstick, but If it's not a nonstick, you put it in a cold pan, it's going to get stuck right to the bottom.
Yeah,
and I'm
definitely
sure
don't
you've
want
had that spatula stick
Oh.
to the fish before.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's no fun.
So as you're searing, most of this stuff can be done ahead of time if you want.
Okay.
Sauce can be done ahead of time. Broccolini can be blanched ahead of time. That's easy. And at home, for blanching, just take a pot of hot water, bring it to a boil, throw your veg in. About a minute, maybe a little bit less. Your veg is more than halfway cooked. It's soft. Set it aside, and you can saute it up later.
Nice. What's blanching?
Blanching is just the process of putting any type of vegetable into boiling water until it's tender.
Okay.
Cooked, ready to go.
Nice.
And you can do that the day before. You can do that earlier in the day. And half the job's already done for you.
Nice. Oh, it's looking good.
So with this little bit lower heat device we got here, it's going to take a little bit longer to get the golden brown that you want. But basically, you just keep searing the potato so you have a nice golden brown crust on it.
All right.
And the same thing with the sea bass.
Nice.
And when the sea bass is seared on, I'd say at least the two sides. You're going to do one side first. You're going to flip it over. You're going to get the other side golden brown. And when it's ready to go, in the professional field, what we do is we just put the side you're going to serve down.
Okay.
Okay, and you would take that whole thing, pop it in the oven.
Nice.
Just going to let it sit in the oven about 400 degrees for maybe another 7 to 8 minutes. And the fish is going to be all the way cooked through.
Oh, it's smelling
And
good.
it'll be ready to go.
Awesome.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this sauce hot.
Okay.
And we'll plate a dish up.
So you just like sort of dump it on there?
Yeah, go ahead and just throw all that into here. We're going to start warming that up.
Just like that. There we go.
As the sauce is heating up, I'll just describe how to make this sauce. It seems very difficult to do, but it's not. You know, there's a little bit of prep time into it. You just take a red onion,
Okay.
slice it up real small. Take a tomato, slice it up real small. The only thing I don't have on the table here is tomato juice, but you can use water if you want. Get all that going into a regular pot,
Just like that?
okay, and put it on your stove. And you want to make it almost like you're doing soup.
Soup. All right.
Okay? You're going to get all your ingredients first. You're going to saute them down. Then you're going to add your tomato juice or your water if you got. And you're going to put the liquid just at the top of where your chopped ingredients are. Then you're going to add your sherry vinegar.
Vinegar,
It's going to give
all
it
right.
some acid and some flavor.
Nice.
And you're going to add your sugar. I put the sugar because the vinegar is bold. You want something sweet to kind of go with it.
Yeah.
And that sweet acid is going to taste great on top of that fish.
Nice.
So you're just going to,
Looks so good.
you can take this sauce, make it the day before, and right before you're ready to go, warm it up. And for me, the difference with this is it's a thick sauce on top of the fish instead of just butter that pours out all over.
Wow. It smells so good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. So what type of like tips do you have for people as they're making this?
Don't be afraid to mess up. If you burn a piece of fish, just get another piece of fish and try it again.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You know, I didn't start cooking this right off the bat.
Yeah.
You know, it took me a few tries to learn how to do everything.
Awesome.
Don't be afraid to do it.
So we're about out of time.
I actually
Let's
have
see
a
what we
plate
got.
here ready to go,
Okay.
and we'll go ahead and sauce that sucker up if you want to do it. Go ahead
Awesome.
and grab this fork.
Fork. Just put a little
Grab
sauce
that,
on there.
and put a little bit of sauce right on top of
Okay.
the fish.
Oh,
Bring
it
it
looks
o-
so
bring the
good.
pan
All right.
over.
It's right there. Just
Go ahead and
put a
some
little sauce on there. Oh, it looks so good. All right, this looks so awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Back to you, Andrea.
Man, does that look delicious? If you'd like to try some of Chef Hein's food for yourself, stop by the Hotel Laguna at 425 Pacific Coast Highway, right in downtown Laguna Beach. We're going to take another quick commercial break, but make sure you come back because we got some more good stories for you.
Saddleback College enriches its students and the South Orange County community by providing a comprehensive array of high-quality courses and programs. We foster student learning and success in the attainment of academic degrees and career technical certificates, transfer to four-year institutions, and improvement of basic skills. We hope Saddleback College will be your first choice if you seek a dynamic, innovative, and student-centered post-secondary education.
Welcome back to The Scoop. The Saddleback Showcase at the Newport Beach Film Festival is only a few weeks away, and we've got another film to tell you about. Pendulum is a psychological thriller that deals with a man's grasp on reality as he uses his powers to control time. Let's see what it's all about. I hope you enjoy.
My name's J.O. Fusco, and I'm the writer and director of Pendulum. It's a psychological thriller about a guy who stops time, and it's like a day in the life of him. And so towards the end of the movie, he loses control of it, and so it's kind of just a battle of time that he has, a battle with time. The character development kind of just came out through the writing process. I have been known to be a procrastinator, and so I feel like a lot of people are, and it's just it's something that people really wish to have more of, and that's time. And so I just felt like it was pretty applicable and relatable.
My name is Stephen Burnett, and I wore a lot of different hats on Pendulum. I produced it, I was the first AD, and the editor, and the sound designer and mixer as well, in post. I was also wanting to help him out get his movie made that he was writing after he finally finished procrastinating. And then and then we started production, and within the course of a week, like, we made it happen. And yeah, and I was all for him directing it as well, because I think it's a good learning experience, and watching him work with the actors on set was really fun for me, and as a producer, because that's when the fruits of your labor come together when you're on set, and you've produced everything and gotten everything together and gotten the crew together, and I get to kind of just sit back and still organize things, but also watch J.O. direct.
I would say the most interesting part about writing a piece and having the chance to direct it is that when you're writing it, you envision it in a certain way. And so it's not another person taking what you wrote and then it's their interpretation, it's actually your vision all the way through. And then you bring on people like Steven and other people who help really piece it together in a way that you didn't imagine it to. So for me, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the outcome. It was it ended up being a lot better than I thought it was going to be, just because we were pressed for time and all that, but really happy with the outcome of the film.
Wow, that sure looks exciting. For more information on the film and how you can support it, you can visit Pendulum's Indiegogo page at indiegogo.com/projects/pendulum, a short film. For our final story, we'll take a look at the Mauli Ola Foundation, a Laguna Beach organization that is changing the lives of people with cystic fibrosis. Let's see how some big names are making a big difference. Check it out.
Aloha, this is Kala Alexander. I'm the Vice President of Mauli Ola. It's a foundation that takes kids with genetic disorders surfing.
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic pulmonary disease that affects the lungs. And the patients have a very, very hard life, having to take lots of medication as well as hypertonic saline treatments that help them clear their lungs and expel their mucus. And surfing mimics that exact treatment. When we take them into the ocean, the physical activity combined with the salt air, the hypertonic saline, the surface layer of the ocean, helps open up their airwaves, helps them expel mucus, and ultimately helps them breathe better.
Now, of course, they're taking medications, pills, all the things they normally do, but they've added surfing to their life, and now their lung functions are better than they've ever been.
There's medical data showing surfing and ocean is helping cystic fibrosis.
I usually paddle out and cough for 5 minutes straight really hard and clear everything out. And then, you know, it keeps coming up as I go. And every time you wipe out, it's another one. So I think it does a way better job than using the vest and the saline.
The idea of Mauli Ola Foundation started by a New England Journal of Medicine article about some Australian surfers who were living longer and living healthier lives with cystic fibrosis.
And so I put the article on my brother's desk, and we're both used to be competitive surfers when we were kids, and we looked at each other and said, we gotta get some kids with cystic fibrosis surfing, and so Mauli Ola was born.
James and Charles Dunlop, you know, they started testing for cystic fibrosis 10 years ago, doing full gene sequencing. They have no personal ties with cystic fibrosis. Charles Dunlop thought it was a novel gene, and no one was doing sequencing on it, so he said, let's do this. This is what I want to do, and that was kind of the starting of Ambry Genetics.
Once they saw that connection, they wanted to bring as many patients as they could into the ocean and introduce it as a natural therapy. The Surf Experience Days, the Mauli Ola Foundation created to bring the cystic fibrosis community together in a beach environment where we introduce surfing and other ocean activities as a natural treatment for cystic fibrosis. We bring some of the best watermen and surfers in the world, a lot of well-known athletes who come out and support these patients and help the experience be very safe and well-guided and fun for everybody. You know, the Mauli Ola Foundation's work is super inspiring. You know, I started as a volunteer and did that for 4 years, and I fell in love with the program and what it does for the patients and what it does for the community.
Couple good wipeouts today.
Yeah, thank you.
While the Mauli Ola Foundation is based in Laguna Beach, they host Surf Experience Days all across the U.S. The 2015 season gets going in May. For more information, you can visit their website at mauliola.org. That's it for this week's episode of The Scoop. I'd like to thank Saddleback screen printing professor Greg Carlson, executive chef Rob Hines, J.O. Fusco and Stephen Burnett from Pendulum, and everyone with the Mauli Ola Foundation. For everyone here at The Scoop, I'm Andrea Moore. We'll see you next time.